So there's two ways to get the beta firmware. You can go to our forum and download it there. Actually, I guess there's three ways. You can get it from the forum. You can go to our open beta program page on our website. Just Google Peplink open beta. You'll probably find it that way. Or you can get it directly from In Control 2. We'll show you how that works a little bit later in the show. So right now, this 8.1.0 firmware is in beta 4. We expect the first release candidate to be launched next week. And so almost guaranteed this will be a generally available firmware in July. So we're coming up real quick on that being an officially released firmware. So I would definitely encourage you to go check it out and try it now. So what's in it? First thing, we launched SpeedFusion Cloud back in March, and that was a special build firmware. And so now 8.1.0 is going to be the first generally available firmware that has SpeedFusion Cloud integrated in it, and there's a lot of improvements there. So we'll be doing a live demo a little bit later in the show, so you'll get to see what I'm talking about there. But lots of enhancements, lots of new functionality, so I think you'll really appreciate what's developed with the SpeedFusion Cloud. So those that aren't familiar with it, the SpeedFusion Cloud is a new service that we launched again in March to let people get the benefits of SpeedFusion without having to set up a bunch of their own infrastructure. Previously, to get the benefits of SpeedFusion, you needed to have either another router or a Fusion hub hosted out in the cloud to allow you to get those SD-WAN benefits of SpeedFusion. And so SpeedFusion Cloud takes that away. It makes it just a really simple point-and-click type of setup so that you can do bonding, failover, and all kinds of other different strategies with SpeedFusion. Again, with this just a single router, or if you've got several locations, you can connect all of them to SpeedFusion Cloud. So it's a subscription service that really makes it much easier to get the benefits of SpeedFusion. And again, we'll demonstrate this in a little bit. So there's lots of other things to talk about in firmware 8.1.0. One really big one is drop-in mode is being supported on all of our products now. That used to be either unavailable or a paid add-on for the lower end products. And so when you look at something like the BR1 Mini, all of a sudden that has drop-in mode. That enables all kinds of expanded use cases for those lower end products. So if you're a managed service provider and you want to come in to bring phone service into a company who's already got an existing network, you can protect that phone traffic with the BR1 Mini. You can put it in drop-in mode, integrate it really, really seamlessly with their existing infrastructure. So it gives customers a whole bunch more flexibility across our entire model line. So it's not a segmented feature anymore. Another unique one is what we're calling our unbreakable time server. So there's two layers to this. Number one, the Peplink routers are now able to serve as an NTP server. And so that allows them to be an authoritative time source for any devices on the network. So you can think of like IP cameras, IP phones, and public safety. Obviously, this is going to be a big deal for them. They've got lots of different systems that need a really accurate time source. And so this gives you one right embedded into the Peplink router. The other thing that we've added or expanded is the Peplink router previously would reach out to an upstream NTP server on the internet for its time source. And now what we're doing is we're allowing those devices that have a cellular radio in there with GPS to get the time synchronization directly from GPS as well. And so we'll show you how those work a little bit later. They're real easy to configure, very straightforward, but again, very powerful feature. A lot of companies or again, public safety agencies end up buying separate net clock devices. And so now this really eliminates the need for that. Another upgrade we've done is we've added bandwidth bonding to our MediaFast 500 and 700 routers. So again, that used to be a paid upgrade. That is now included by default with those routers. So I'm sure a welcome addition for people that own those products. Another really unique one is the TCP accelerator support. So those of you that deal with things like satellite links are probably very familiar with TCP acceleration. And so it's been a request for a long time to enable TCP acceleration on SpeedFusion so that it can be more compatible with things like satellite links. And so what we've done in 8.1.0 is we've enabled the TCP sessions to be exposed even though they still remain encrypted, so that TCP acceleration that's built into things like satellite modems can work on SpeedFusion traffic. So we'll show you how to configure that a little bit later as well. Some other really cool things, which we're not going to show today, but definitely reach out if you've got an interest in using these features. We've added some new virtualization options to our products. The EPX is now able to run virtual machines in Docker. And so that was an addition that was planned from the get-go, but we finally got that released. And then any MediaFast product, and then a couple of the new products like the MBX have optional capabilities to enable the Content Hub feature. And so the products that have that Content Hub feature are now able to do full operating system virtualization. So we're utilizing a technology called KVM to virtualize any operating system you want and run that directly on that Peplink router that has the Content Hub capability. So you could run a Windows virtual machine right inside your Peplink router so that you can eliminate the need for additional servers or all additional infrastructure at your customer location. This can be very important in harsh environments, so like railway projects where industry certifications are a must. It's oftentimes much easier to get that virtual machine running on the router that's already certified and ruggedized for those environments. So definitely a powerful option for those folks looking to do pretty sophisticated applications. Another big point of 8.1.0 is upgrading the wireless security capabilities, and this extends to both the router's built-in Wi-Fi for those that have it and the AP controller integrated in most of our products as well. So WPA3 is a new Wi-Fi security standard. So any 11AC, any routers that have an 11AC radio in them should support the WPA3 directly on that built-in access point. Again, all of the access point controllers are able to configure this security setting for access points that are capable of it. And you'll start to see this WPA3 capability show up on our access point products, like the 11AC capable ones in the next firmware version. So those of you that have our 11AC Wave 2 products, those already support WPA3 in the current firmware. Those of you that have like an AP1 Enterprise, that's the first generation 11AC products, you'll see a firmware update coming out soon to support WPA3 on those as well. We're also supporting 802.11w on the Wi-Fi WAN. So lots of upgrades on the Wi-Fi technology here. Another area of focus for 8.1.0 is on traffic analysis. So we've got a couple different ways this plays out here. On the SpeedFusion side, we've really enhanced the graphs for SpeedFusion, so you can get a lot deeper information and understanding of what's going on in your SpeedFusion network, so you can better troubleshoot and evaluate the performance of that. We'll show you those a little bit later. As always, we keep expanding our DPI capabilities. So the signature database has grown pretty extensively in this version. So you'll find that the DPI reports and the DPI steering capabilities, as well as content blocking capabilities, are all a lot more granular now, and you'll see a lot more popular applications that customers have been looking for in there. So again, we'll show you that as well. NetFlow is another one. If you know what this is, you're probably excited about it. If you don't, not anything you have to get too worried about, but we'll show you how this works in a little bit. NetFlow is a lot like Deep Packet Inspection and SNMP, so it just sends metadata about all the different traffic utilization on your network to an external server that does its own analysis. So it's not a direct feature that Peplink's exposing in the UI, but it allows you to send that NetFlow stream to a third-party NetFlow collector for larger networks. So we'll show you where that lives right now.